Yo, once again it's on. Back at you one more again, Real Kids TV in the house like kitchen sinks. Hopefully you like the video. Feel free to comment. Definitely share. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed. And be sure to hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action and this heat, guess what? You're amongst the first to receive. Now with no further ado, let's get into this afternoon's video, if you will. Monday afternoon, pretty upset with my Dallas Cowboys. You all that follow me, you know that, I'm a big Dallas Cowboys fan. Pretty upset, but I had something happen to me this morning, if you will, that cheered my entire day up. I'm in the restroom, not to get too detailed about the situation, but I'm getting my hygiene together, just getting myself together for the day. I receive a text message. Yo, what's going on with you, man? Just want to wish you a happy Monday, man. Hope you and the family, your loved ones, what have you, is doing well. Not in those exact words verbatim, but that's, basically what the message was saying. And lo and behold, it's Jay Williams. Let's live life. It's been a few hours, and I thought about it, and I came to the realization that all that this man is going through with the, bogus charges, the, just everything that he's going through just in his life, period. And then when you throw on top of the charges that, they have him up against, for him to think about another individual, such as myself, that he really doesn't even know, say, hey, man, just thinking about you, man, on some, no funny shit, nothing like that. Just have a happy Monday, man. It made me think, like, man, which I already knew. It's not as though I'm saying anything that I haven't previously said, and it's not saying, anything that you all don't already know. Dude's a real genuine dude, man. And we ended up getting on the phone together. First time I ever talked to him. We text, commented a couple times, exchanged comments, but we've never been on the phone prior to today, which, as I mentioned, is Monday. It's Monday afternoon now, but this was Monday morning at the time. And we talked. We talked a good 2 hours. Now, what we talked about, I would never, ever share, the private things that were said. Never. But the conversation, it just like flowed so smoothly, as though both of us, as though we've been knowing each other our entire lives. We talked about the criminal system and how you can be charged with something solely based on what another individual says. And especially when you're dealing with one of the Commonwealth states. Virginia is a Commonwealth state. Kentucky's a Commonwealth state. I've had people actually request for me to do an interview, as far as, well, not an interview, but a video rather, as far as what's the difference between a Commonwealth state and a non-Commonwealth state. I don't really know all the differences. I'd have to actually dig into the books and see, okay, Commonwealth means this. But I do know this. This is what I can tell you. Is it's never good to catch a criminal case, but if you do, which I have so often done, you want it to happen in a non-Commonwealth state, because in a Commonwealth state, no, let me give you an example of what's going to happen when you catch a case in, say, I don't know, Florida. It's not a Commonwealth state. And I'm just merely using Florida as an example, knowing that it's not a Commonwealth state. If someone presses charges against you and that person recants or decides to no longer pursue the issue, then a lot of times, from my knowledge, that charge will be dismissed. They will no longer pursue the charge. In a Commonwealth state, if a person decides, I no longer want to pursue the matter, this didn't happen, I was just mad at the time, the Commonwealth will come right in and pick up the charge. And they will pursue the charge against you solely based on the original statement made by the alleged victim. And so we touched on that as far as, how unfair it is. And I admire Jay Williams so much because he's not sitting around moping. He's not sitting around crying about the situation. He's not sitting around, although we both acknowledge the fact of it's a very, very unfair. That's not stopping him from living his life. The guy's out here, a man of integrity. He's out here with his kids, with his family, doing everything that, he was already doing in the first place, which is the right thing. Out in the community, still helping people. And it's just a shame that because of our checkered past, we'll never be able to fully, in a sense, move on. Because anytime anything happens, guess what they're going to say? Well, 20 years ago, this guy had this type of charge. 30 years ago, he had that type of charge. And it's just like, okay, but I've changed since then. The charge that I had then may not be the charge that I have now. And the charge that I have now is really not even a charge. It's just that because you all recognize who I am as far as who I once was, it becomes a charge. Some of you all may get it, and then some of you all may have to rewind that and listen to that part again. We're judged on our past, opposed to what we do after that situation occurred. You can go out here and save the president. And guess what? At the end of the day, he's a convicted felon. The only reason he did it is because he thought that it would benefit him to, some degree. And that's just not right. People jump in my comments and they talk about, oh, well, if you didn't do this in the first place, then you wouldn't have been in that situation. As though I'm on here asking, having a pity party. No, I'm on here to explain to people, not complain, not to ask for sympathy, maybe a little empathy, but really at the end of the day, not even empathy, because, you can understand me all day long, but is that really, really empathy? Because you understand me? Only thing I'm saying is this. Life is hard, period. And I get that. Life is hard for everybody. I don't care if you make $500,000 a year. I don't care if you make $1 million a year. You still go through your stretches in which, you're dealing with certain things in life. So I get it. And a lot of people say, yeah, well, my life gets hard, but I never resorted to committing crimes. I never resorted to breaking the law. I came up, we didn't have a whole lot, but I maintained, and kudos to you that you did that. But at the end of the day, guess what? That doesn't make you any better than anyone else that did resort to that. Because some of you all, not all, not But some of you all have done sketchy things. So it may not necessarily be breaking the law. And some of you have broke the law. You know, we discussed how oftentimes you'll break the law and sometimes you may not even know that you're breaking the law because there's so many laws, especially in the Commonwealth state. But some of you all, you know, keep it real with yourself. You cheated on your taxes a little bit, didn't claim missed income. Do you know it's a felony? Do you know that can get you sent to federal prison? So while you're out here consistently talking about, oh, well, if you didn't break the law in the first place, then you would never be in that situation. You see what I'm saying? It's little things like that you think nothing of that'll really, really make you think if you really, really genuine with yourself and honest with yourself. Like, man, I ain't always been a stand-up person. What about some of you all that's married? And again, I'm going to reiterate throughout the video, if you will. A lot of you all stand-up guys, stand-up people. But what about some of you all that cheat on your wives? So no, it may not be criminal, but guess what? Are you really, really a stand-up person? So you want to judge everybody else because what they have done or allegedly done has been brought to light, and everything that you've done, it hasn't been, you know, no one else knows but the people around you. Does that make you a bad person? You made a bad decision. And it may make you a bad person. I don't know. But I'm just saying, don't be so quick to judge people just based upon what's been said. They said. Who is they? That's the thing. We always talk about they. They said this. But when you really think about it, who is they? Who is they? Here it is. You have an individual for nearly 10 years. Been doing everything right. Construction business, family man, being there for his family, a provider, helping people out, helping strangers out that he doesn't even know on the internet. And don't get me wrong when I say strangers, because ultimately we become one big family. But in the beginning, you don't know these people and they don't know you in the beginning. But as time, you know, moves forward, we get to knowing each other, becoming comfortable with each other, but just helping people out, buying people cars, helping out in the community, food drives, back to school drives, clothes for, you know, the kids, Christmas, toys. None of these things matter. All of these things go out the window because of what they said. Again, we're going to go back to they. Because of what they said. See, when you a criminal... No, let me rewind that. You all know that at this point I'm not editing if you follow me. So let me, you know, manually rewind it. When you've been accused of a criminal act and you have a history, they could care less what you have to say. No one wants to hear your story. You never get to tell your story when you really think about it. You catch a case, you're not going to talk to the detectives if they elect to attempt to interview you. No, because that's going to help you. It's not going to hurt you. The detective's not your friend. They don't have you in the interrogation room just to be friendly with you. They want you to say something incriminating. It's only going to hurt your case. So you're not going to talk to the police or the detectives. When you go to court, you go to arraignment, which is the first court date that you have after being charged. You can't say anything. You have to just stand there. And every other court date that you go to, guess what? Your lawyer does all the talking for you. You never get to tell your side of the story. Never. Your lawyer, it's up to your lawyer to paint the picture. And when I say paint the picture, not saying that in a deceitful way or a deceiving way or whatnot. When I say paint the picture, I'm meaning more so of allowing everyone, you know, to know exactly what happened, but they're not hearing it from the person that can tell the story the best way, they're hearing it from an individual that's heard it from the person, you know what I mean, that can tell the story best, which is yourself. You never get to tell your story in a criminal case. Only if you go to trial and you take the stands. Well, the danger in taking the stands, a lot of people feel like that's never been through this. Oh, well, if he doesn't have anything to hide, why did get on the stands? No, it doesn't work that way. They're going to bring up your entire criminal history in certain cases, in a lot of cases. They're going to bring up the fact, they're going to bring up charges that maybe you had and got dismissed, but yet you are still charged with them. So a lot of people don't get on the stands. It's just one of those things to where your attorney has to handle everything for you. So essentially, you never get to tell your true side of the story. But so many people are just so quick to judge people and be so judgmental. But yet, going back to what I was saying as far as like, okay, cheating on your taxes or not claiming all your income, or perhaps cheating on your spouse, or you know, so many other wrong things in life that you can do that's, you know, morally wrong, may not be lawfully wrong, but it's morally wrong. These things are never, you're never judged on these things as far as in the court of public opinion. And God's going to judge us ultimately one day. Whoever your higher power is, you'll be judged one day. Because you can't get around, you can't, you know, buy your way, you know, out of judgment day. But as far as the court of public opinion, man, they gonna convict you right off top as soon as they hear anything. Well, they said this. Why would they say that? If he didn't do this, if she didn't do that, then why would they say? Because it's their job to prosecute people and to convict people. Why would there be prosecutors? That's why I hate when a judge says, I bet not see you in my courtroom again. No, you want to see me in your courtroom again. If you don't see anybody breaking the law, guess what? Them big salaries that the judges get, they'll no longer receive those big salaries because nobody's breaking the law. So the truth be told, you love to see people in your courtroom. I'm telling you, all I am is just an individual that's trying to make, I'm not even going to say make you all understand that haven't been through this, but perhaps it'll enlighten you to a little bit better understanding, if you will, of how the system works. Now, I know ultimately, well, if you didn't do that, you would have never had to worry about it. I get it. I get it. But guess what? Things in life happen, okay? Unfortunately, things in life happen. The man ain't killed nobody. The man ain't hurt nobody. The man ain't raped nobody. The man hasn't done anything to anyone's kids. The man, you know, and it's just like, when you're a certain stature, when you reach a certain stature, or you're on your way up, people forget the fact that you're a human being at the end of the day. They forget the fact that, okay, I may be Jay Williams. Let's live life. Da-na-na-na-na. And we're back. They forget that you're still a human being. You make mistakes. You have flaws. You have your flesh. Same way with real kins. You know, as I move my way up the ladder and understand certain, you know, things that go on as far as with the YouTube world and the business and things of that nature. That's why I never lie on here. First of all, I'm not a liar anyway. I used to lie to the police. But outside of that, I've never really been a big liar. Have I ever lied? Yeah, absolutely, I've lied. I'm not sitting on here acting like I'm, you know, like I don't make mistakes, but it's not in my nature to be a big liar. People don't look at me and be like, oh, he lies a lot. But I'm always honest with you all, because the larger you get, the more people dig. And they dig into your background. Let me see if this guy's really who he say he is. I know. I know, you ain't who you say you is. You know what I mean? People know, and they're gonna expose you. But you can't expose me if I've already told the truth. If I've already been, forthcoming, 100% honest. You can't expose me. You can hate on me, but you can't expose me. So a lot of these people that get on here and they jump in the comments and they always have something to say about doing the right thing. Should you do the right thing in life? Absolutely. It's not even it's a rhetorical question. It doesn't even need to be answered. It's not looking to be answered, but I'm going to answer it anyway. Obviously you should do the right thing in life. But I'm just saying we don't all come from the same backgrounds. We don't all come from the same situations. We don't all, so you may look at it from this perspective. She may look at it from that perspective. And this person over here may look at it. But at the end of the day, as I've said before, and I'm going to say it again, we're all just human beings and we're all just flesh. And, I used to DoorDash. No, I did used to DoorDash. But, now this would be a part that I would probably take out if I was editing. You know what I mean? As far as, I used to DoorDash. I meant to say, I used to Uber. And people see me, and we're in the car, and we're conversating, and, I guess people, they want to get a feel for you. Pause, though. People want to get a feel for you, and kind of, they're kind of scouting you out in their mind to see, okay, is this dude cool? And a lot of times people would ask outrageous requests. A lot of times it was about drugs. Hey, do you know I can get this? Do you know? I don't indulge. I'm a working man. I used to indulge, but now I don't put myself in a situation in which I could be taken away from my family. See, it used to be, okay, well, I'm the one doing the time. I'm the one. No, you're putting your whole family through this. So they're doing time with you, people that truly, truly love you. So to where I may entertain some of the comments and some of the requests or questions that people have, no, I don't, sir. I'm sorry. And I only say sir because typically it's dudes. But I've received some of the strangest requests. People asking me about prostitutes. People asking me about, hey, man, do you know anywhere I can get this? Do you know anywhere I can meet this type of person? That type of person? Dudes that have whole families at home. No criminal records, none. But you're on a business trip. 8, 9, 10 hours away from home. And you're out here trying to hook up with transgenders. No disrespect to anybody that's a transgender that watches my channel. Maybe you don't watch my channel, or you trying to hook up with another dude, but you got a whole wife at home. You have a whole marriage, a whole family at home, no criminal record. So you probably teach integrity or stress integrity. But are you really, really showing integrity by, first of all, trying to meet anybody? Anybody. While you're on a so-called business trip and your wife, she'll never know. She's, hours away from home. Yeah, honey, I'm I made it safely and I'm gonna go into the room and get some rest, and all along, you freaking. Now, the only reason I brought that up is because that was my own personal experience. I'm not saying all dudes. I'm not saying all people they go on business trips and they're meeting other people. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is this was my personal experience that's been asked to me on more than probably 3 or 4 different occasions. Because when people see you and they talk to you, they get comfortable real quick. But really, it's not that they're so comfortable with you. They're just comfortable enough to seek what they really want. Them the same type of people that be in my comments speaking negatively on Jay Williams and myself, and just anybody that's made a mistake. People make mistakes in life, people, and that's just what it's always been, and that's what it's always gonna be. The importance is As long as you don't continue to make that same mistake over and over again, that's when you actually learning. And I told Jay, man, I'm praying for you. You got a whole plethora of people that's praying for you. We want to see you do well in life. My granddad always told me, good things happen to good people. I believe Jay Williams is going to be just fine when it's all said and done. Regardless of what happens, I believe that he's going to be just fine. He has a whole lot of people that's fighting for him, that's in his corner, that'll do whatever to help him, whatever possible that they can, do to help. And, situation happened. It shouldn't have happened, but it did happen. He explained a lot of things to me that a lot of you all don't know, and I would never, ever in life, and that's what I told him, put that out here online. I would never talk to anybody else other than the conversation that he and I had. Like I said, we talked over 2 hours, man. But a lot of this, it's not what you think. I don't care what they said. I don't care what this document says. I don't care what that document says. It's not what you're thinking. Not even by a long shot. And like I said, I really feel like he's going to be okay. I mean, think about it. As I mentioned previously, for you to be going through all of these things in your life, construction business, even though you may not actually do the construction, you're still tied to the construction business in some form or fashion, because you still have to make a living. YouTube, he doesn't just throw his videos out like I do, because I'm in the beginning stages, so I'm not really editing it. Well, I'm clearly not editing at this juncture. Ultimately, I'll get to the editing, and I'll find me a nice intro. We talked about how his intro came about. These are the things that I will ultimately get to, but all the things that he's dealing with, and just being a average everyday citizen, tax-paying citizen, for him to take the time and reach out to me. I'm in Kentucky, as you all can see. Yeah, my Wildcats did win this weekend. Go Big Blue. But for him to reach out to me, to take the time out of his busy schedule, and this wasn't the first time that he reached out to me. Is it reached out or retched out? I don't know, maybe enlighten me. Put it in my comment. Should I say this wasn't the first time he reached out to me, or should I say this wasn't the first time he retched out to me? It's to let me know if you all really, really watching the video, because the video is almost over with. But nevertheless, to think about other people when you're going through the storm, the trials and tribulations of life, to have the wherewithal and the kindness and the empathy and just the awareness in your mind to say, you know what? I'm going to reach out to my dude, man. I'm going to reach out to my dude and see how he's doing. And, happy Monday. That's what he said to me, happy Monday. That means a lot, man. That means the world to me. And that's why I know, which I already knew, even if, I didn't talk to him today, he's going to be okay. He's going to be A-okay. Regardless of what happens. He got a lot of people behind him as far as supporting him. Jay Williams, let's live life. He's going to be okay, man. And it's not a video to, try to get views. Every video I put out, you obviously want views. You're on YouTube. But I'm not putting this out, to hike my number, to spike my numbers up, rather. My numbers are what they are, man. I'm seeing improvement, and they're going to continue to improve, hopefully. And, I'll be ultimately where I'm going to be. But I just wanted to give another shout out to him. Let you know, man. And I told him, hey, bro, you got a friend right here, man. You really got a friend. And he told me. I decided to reach out to you because I understand I've been in them trenches. I've been where most people haven't been. Lions, tigers, and bears. And real recognizes real. And I feel like he was a real, genuine person. And that's exactly how I felt. And that's why I ultimately made the videos in the beginning anyway. Because it's just genuine, man. It's nothing but love. Shout out once again, Jay Williams, Let's Live Life. You know, Jason V 2323, my dog Nate G out of Indiana. You know, it's a whole lot of Too Mean Irene. It's a whole lot of people that support me on here. William Pierce. It's a whole lot of people on here that support me and watch my videos. And if I miss your name, it's just off the top of my head, man. Definitely salute to you. And you know, it is what it is, man. But we gonna get through it, and we gonna support you. Jay Williams, nothing but love, man. Real Kens TV. Feel free to comment, share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already subscribed, and hit that post notification. So anytime I bring you this action, this heat, amongst the first to receive. We out.